Alright, so in this video I want to show you kind of the other way of doing ion problems. The last one we saw numbers of protons, neutrons, and electrons, and we generated sort of a way of representing it, some symbolism. We're going to work the other way. So for this one, I want to do, well, for example, we'll start off with, I don't know, let's say oxygen. And let's just go with oxygen 16, which is the mass of it, the mass number, and we'll give it a charge of -2. So the question here is, how many protons are there, how many neutrons are there, and how many electrons are there? With an emphasis on these electrons, because this is kind of what we're talking about right now. So the protons are simple. The protons we know because of the atomic number, so that's going to be 8. We can figure out the number of neutrons by looking at the mass number. We hopefully remember that the mass number is protons plus neutrons. So we can do a little subtraction. 16 is the mass number minus 8, and that tells us that there are, in fact, 8 neutrons as well. So the last thing we kind of have to figure out is how many electrons are there. Now, in a previous video, I showed you that we can come up with a little formula. We know that protons minus electrons equals the charge. And that's not going to fit, is it? Charge. Wow. So here, we know that the number of protons is 8. We don't know the number of electrons, but we know that when we subtract them, we get the charge, which is -2. So what's it going to have to be in order to do that? Hopefully, you are on the ball and you see that this is going to have to be 10. 8 minus 10 is -2. So there you go. The number of electrons here is 10. So we have 8 protons, 8 neutrons, and 10 electrons. Why don't you give it a shot? I'm going to give you another sort of symbol set, and you can tell me what's going on here. So here is aluminum, and we'll say 13 because that's its atomic number. We'll say 26, we'll give it a 1-to-1 proton-neutron ratio, and we'll give it a charge of +3. So what you should do now is pause the video, and try to figure out how many protons, how many neutrons, and how many electrons. And once you figure it out, hit play again, and I'll run you through the answers. Alright, so protons should be easy enough. It is the atomic number, so 13 protons. Neutrons should also be easy enough. We've been doing this for a while now. 26 minus 13 is 13. Again, the mass number is protons plus neutrons, so we just kind of reverse the process and subtract it. It gives you 13. Now, with the number of electrons, remember, it's protons minus electrons that gives you charge. So we know that the number of protons is 13. We don't know the number of electrons, but we know that it has a charge of +3. So 13 minus what is going to give us 3? Hopefully, you figured out pretty quick that it's going to be 10. So the answer here to the number of electrons is 10. So 13 protons, 13 neutrons, 10 electrons. There you go.